That's why we put in this screen also, so that we see the mantra properly on the screen and chant properly. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
You are chanting, you chant so clearly. I heard you chanting. Fantastic. Even in Dubai, in Chennai also you chanted. You remember when you came on holidays? It was very clear.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for your blessings. Hare Krishna. Hope I continue doing it. So I'll start greeting here. वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यस्य कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य शिला हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। शीला प्रभुपाद की जय। All glories to assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisances. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devidasi from Texas, welcoming all of you to Bhakti Sangha conference call. I thank all of you for attending this session. Please forgive me for interrupting your ecstatic chanting. I would like to read the 10 offenses to the holy name which are to be avoided, written by Srila Vyasadeva in Padma Purana. 1. To blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their life for propagating the holy name of the Lord. 2. To consider the name of demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal or to be independent of the name of Lord Vishnu. 3. To disobey the order of the spiritual master. 4. To blaspheme the Vedic scriptures or scriptures in pursuance to the Vedic version. 5. To consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be an imagination. 6. To give some interpretation to the holy name of the Lord. 7. To commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name. 8. To consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities which are offered in Vedas as fruitive activity karma kanda. 9. To instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name. 10. To not to have a complete faith in chanting of the holy name and to maintain material attachment even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to achieve the desired success of Krishna Prema. Once again, I thank everyone for joining today's Bhakti Sangha conference call. Let us move on to our Srimad Bhagavatam class. Before that, may I know who all joined this morning?
Hare Krishna, Nita Gandharika Mataji, this is Pamita Dasi from Baltimore. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Sri Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj, and all the devotees. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Komatiki Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining and giving your sweet association every single day. Welcome to the call.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, this is Sukha Karkasidas from Chennai. Thanks for allowing me to join your group. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Sukha Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhu, for every day joining and giving your enthusiastic association with for us, Prabhuji. Thank you. Haribo.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvi Mataji, Dandavat Pranam to you and all Vaishnava. Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev Ki Jai, Vrinda.
Hare Krishna, Vrinda Gopika Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining every single day and giving your sweet association to us. Welcome to the call. Is there anybody who would like to introduce themselves? Please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and all the assembled devotees. This is Indulekha Karna Devidasi from Lincoln.
Hare Krishna, Indulekha Karuna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining and giving your sweet association every single day. All glories to your wonderful services. Welcome to the call, Mataji. Is there anybody who would like to introduce themselves? Please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Vanita Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances to Srila Prabhupada. This is Preeti Vilasni Devidasi from Atlanta.
Hare Krishna, Preeti Vilasni Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining and giving your sweet association and all glories to your wonderful services to the group, Mataji. Welcome to the call. Hare Krishna, is there anybody who would like to introduce themselves? Please go ahead. We have a little more time.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. My humble obeisances to you and all the devotees. This is Krishna Kumari Devidasi from Raleigh.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Kumari Mataji, Dhanavad Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for joining every day, blessing us here with your sweet association. Welcome to the call. Is there anybody who would like to introduce themselves?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj, all glories to Assembled devotees, this is Mohini Lakshmi, call it right.
Hare Krishna, Mohini Lakshmi Mataji, Dhanavad Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining every day, giving your association. Welcome to the call. Okay, we will start the recording and we'll do. Okay, someone want to introduce?
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Srila Gurudev. This is Chinmayi Vrajapriya Devi Dasi from Charlotte.
Hare Krishna, Chinmayi Vrajapriya Mataji. Nice to hear your sweet voice in the early morning call. Welcome to the call, Mataji. You join every day but never introduce in the morning call. Thank you so much for introducing yourself.
Very well.
Thank you, Mataji.
Yeah, nice to hear. Not only Mataji, a lot of people join, but they don't introduce. See, I feel like we are giving our attendance to Krishna. Oh, Krishna, I'm here listening to Bhagavatam class. Please, please be merciful unto me. That is what I feel, That's why I'm so enthusiastic to announce my name. As when will my turn will come so that I can tell my name to Krishna. I'm listening to Bhagavatam class. So anyway, we'll start the class. Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome to Bhakti Sangha. Today we are very fortunate to have His Holiness Candramauli Swami Maharaj to enlighten us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th canto, verses. 7th canto, 2nd chapter, verse 37. I would hand over the call to Nishta Bhakti Mataji for the brief introduction. Mataji, over to you.
Hare Krishna, Dhanavad Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj and all the Vaishnavas. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to serve. His Holiness Candramauli Swami Maharaj is a disciple of ISKCON founder Acharya, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, and an initiating spiritual master within the ISKCON movement. Maharaj was born in New Jersey, USA in 1947. Maharaj came in contact with the International Society for Krishna Consciousness in Denver, Colorado at the age of 24. In 1973, he began practicing Krishna consciousness in New York City and shortly thereafter began serving at the New Vrindavan Farm community in West Virginia. The same year, he received initiation from His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. In 1986, His Holiness Candramauli Swami Maharaj accepted the sannyas order and began preaching in Cincinnati and Columbus, Ohio. In 1995, he began serving as the resident sannyasi in Chicago, where he was based until 2013, when he relocated to Karalwak, Croatia. At present, His Holiness Candramauli Swami Maharaj offers spiritual guidance around Europe, USA, and India. Thank you so much. Thank you, Maharaj. Welcome.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Maharaj, for giving your valuable association this morning and enlightening us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam. Today's verse is 7th canto, 2nd chapter, 37 verse, Maharaj. Over to you, Maharaj. Your verses will be on the screen.
Can we do a full screen for the verse?
Maharaj, is the screen not visible?
It's visible, but it's just part of the
translation.
Okay.
Let me see, view side by side. Full screen, what is standard? Standard, okay, I got it. Yeah, all right, now it's happening.
Okay. Is it better? Okay.
Now we got it. Yeah. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Sriyama Uvacha. Ahom Misham Vyaya Sadikanam. Vipasyatam Loka Vidim Vimohaha. Yatra gatas tatra gatam manusham. Swayam sadharmam apiso chadya partam. Translation. Maharaj is speaking and he says, alas, how amazing it is. These persons who are older than me have full experience that hundreds and thousands of living entities have taken birth and dying. Thus they should understand that they are also apt to die, yet still they are bewildered. The conditioned soul comes from an unknown place and returns after death to that same unknown place. There is no exception to this rule, which is conducted by material nature. Knowing this, why do they uselessly lament? The Prabhupada's purport. The Lord says in Bhagavad Gita 2:28, Avyaktini bhutani vyaktamadhyani bharatam avyakta nidanadyeva tratrake paridevana. All creative beings are unmanifested in their beginning. Oops, can't see it now. Drop it down. Okay, right there. All creative beings are unmanifest in their beginning, manifested in their interim state, and unmanifest again when they are annihilated. So what need is there for lamentation? All creative beings are unmanifest in their beginning, manifest in their interim state, and unmanifested again when they are annihilated. So what need is there for lamentation? Accepting that there are two classes of philosophers, one believing in the existing of the soul, and the other not believing in its existence, there is no cause for lamentation in either case. Non-believers in the existence of the soul are called atheists by the followers of Vedic wisdom. Yet even if, for argument's sake, we accept the atheistic theory, there is still no cause for lamentation. Apart from the separate existence of the soul, the material elements remain unmanifested before creation. From this subtle state of unmanifestation comes manifestation. Just as from ether, air is generated, from air, fire is generated, from fire, water is generated, and from water, earth becomes manifest. From the earth, many varieties of manifestations take place. For example, a big skyscraper is manifested from the earth. When it is dismantled, the manifestation becomes again unmanifested and remains as atoms in the ultimate stage. The law of conservation of energy remains, but in the course of time, things are manifested and unmanifested. That is the difference. Then what cause is there for lamentation, either manifestation or unmanifestation? Somehow or other, even in the unmanifest stage, things are not lost. Both at the beginning and at the end, all elements remain unmanifested, and this does not make any real material difference. I hope everyone is following along. It's quite philosophical, so try to pay attention very carefully. Otherwise, you'll miss the point. If we accept the Vedic conclusion,
Ram Ram.
If we accept the Vedic conclusion as stated in the Bhagavad Gita, Antavantam Mimam Deham, that these material bodies are perishable in due course of time, Nitya Sokta Saririnam, but that the soul is eternal, then we must remember always that the body is like a dress. Therefore, why lament the changing of a dress? The material body has no factual existence in relationship to the eternal soul. It is something like a dream. In a dream, we may think of flying in the sky or sitting on the chariot as a king. When we wake up, we can see that we are neither in the sky nor seated on the chariot. Vedic wisdom encourages self-realization on the basis of the non-existence of the material body. Therefore, in either case, whether one believes in the existence of the soul or does not believe in the existence of the soul, there is no cause for lamentation for the loss of the body. In the Mahabharata, it is said, Adarshanad ihayantam puna chandarsanam gata. This statement could support the theory of the atheistic scientist that the child in the womb of the mother has no life but is simply a lump of matter. To follow this theory, if the lump of matter is aborted by a surgical operation, no life is killed. The body of the child is like a tumor, and if a tumor is operated upon and thrown away, no sin is involved. The same argument could be put forward in regard to the king and his queens. The body of the king was manifested from an unmanifested source, and again it became unmanifested from manifestation. Since the manifestation exists only in the middle between the 2 points of manifestation, why should one cry for the body manifested in the internal? Chaksun militam yena tasmai Shri Bhagavate Namaha. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasnaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvisesa Sunyavari Pasyatya Vesidhane Panchakalpataru Vedave Bachapatitanam Pavanebhyam Vaishnavebhyam Namaho Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So if we followed carefully what was explained in the purport, we find that whether you believe in the soul or you don't believe in the soul, it doesn't really have much of a difference in understanding whether the body is alive or not. Because ultimately, in both cases, the body didn't exist before life manifested in this form, and the body will not exist after a certain time. So there's no loss, because in the beginning there was no body, and at the end there's no body. So in the middle, there is some body. But we don't accept the theory of the atheist that there is, the body is actually life, and the end of the body is actually death. We accept the fact that the soul is eternal and exists somewhere, whether within one particular manifested state or another manifested state. The soul will exist eternally. And the body is just a temporary implication or imposition upon the soul at a certain period of material time. And then after some time, that body is lost. So this is inevitable. This is the laws of nature. No one can change that. So what is relevant for those in devotional service? What is the main purpose here? Point here is that the body will end. There's no question about that. That's just the way things work in this world. The soul is eternal, and we are not the body, as it says. For the soul there is neither birth nor death, nor having once been does he ever cease to be. He's the eternal, undying, primeval, immovable. He's not slain when the body is slain. So the soul exists eternally, as Krishna exists eternally, so the soul is eternal. And by analysis, one can see that there is something that is perceiving the activities of the external environment, and that is you, the person. Your hands, your legs, your arms, everything in relationship to the whole forms of the material energy that present themselves in your front are combinations of material energies, material elements that come together at a certain time and are disillusioned in due course of time. As it says, all matter goes through 6 stages. Beginning, matter means in terms of forms. Beginning, and then growth, development, producing byproducts, and then gradually dwindling, and then dying. So that's inevitable. So what is our position? Well, our position is not just to simply accept the material body and use it to somehow awaken our spiritual awareness. Therefore, to have a human body is a great boon in the course of accepting bodies, because there are 8,400,000 species of life, and 400,000 are human, and out of those 400,000, very few are actually intelligent. And for those who are actually have good intelligence, then the best use of that intelligence is to perceive myself as being different than the body that I inhabit. Same with my relatives, friends, and everything else. Everything else is different than the forms it presents. Here we see that Yamaraj is kind of lamenting the fact that these people are crying over a departed relative, knowing, he says, they are more experienced than we are. We are simply a child. He took the form of a 7-year-old child. And you'll see as this section goes on, he speaks very clear philosophy, the difference between the body and the soul, which is the foundation by which Krishna consciousness awakens. If one thinks that it is body or acts simply on the bodily platform, one cannot understand higher knowledge, which means Krishna consciousness. So one has to, that's why Krishna, in the very first chapter of the second chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, he spends 20 verses from the 11th verse, 211, to about 230 in the same chapter, describing the difference between the body and the soul, presenting that same argument from different angles of vision, just to dispel all forms of what are you doing?
Sorry, Maharaj. Please continue.
Yeah, leave the verse on. Dispelling all forms of illusion based on the conception that I am this body. So what is important for a devotee? Devotee at least theoretically knows that I'm not this body. That much we can attest to. I know I'm not this body. So then what is the activities of one who has this preliminary knowledge is to awaken the awareness of the soul's relationship with its source, the Supreme Lord. And the time period that the body exists for that particular soul, devotee, is the time to be used for self-realization. Otherwise, without using the time for self-realization, simply pandering to the needs and the desires of the body, then the material energy will give us, again, another body in the next life, begin all over again, starting off where we left off in the previous life, to try to understand our relationship with the Supreme Lord. So for a devotee, there is no death, because death means the end of something, and therefore the soul never doesn't die, so there is no death for the soul, therefore there is no death for a devotee. So a devotee understands that, hey, if I'm eternal, where am I going to go after the end of this body? Just like in our life, many times we plan ahead about future activities, future places we want to visit, or we're always making plans for the future, and we very carefully think about how to plan it in such a way that we can maximize the benefit. So those who are actually intelligent and understand the purpose of life will not simply waste time trying to fix the problems in this material life, because they're not fixable. When you fix one problem, another problem comes. And this is enunciated and confirmed by Sri Prahlad Maharaj. You'll come to that verse in the future chapters of the 7th canto, where he says that the solutions, material solutions to material problems, are more problematic than the actual problems. They create a greater problem, do not solve the present problem either. They compound the problem. So for devotee doesn't worry. Happiness comes, distress comes. The devotee is always thinking, how can I use my time to awaken my relationship with the Lord? And after hearing from the scriptures and from the acharyas, who emphasize the importance about hearing the glories of the Lord, especially his activities in his abodes in the spiritual world, Vrindavan Dham, Mathura, Dwarka, and all of the higher dhams, and of course, any of the incarnations of the Lord, the devotee becomes fixed on Krishna, develops an attraction, which turns to an attachment for Krishna, and one's activities become focused on awakening the soul. And then when the end of the body comes, which will come for everyone, then the devotee moves on to the next position, ultimately in the perfectional stage of existence. One can again attain perfection by going back to our original home in the spiritual world, to associate with Krishna in eternal, loving, transcendental service, which is full of knowledge and unlimited happiness. And not in this material world, which is simply a struggle just to exist from day to day, solving one problem and then confronting another problem. And so a devotee does the minimum. The devotee does not neglect the body. Just like if you want to go someplace in your vehicle, you make sure your vehicle is running nicely. You have to make sure the tires are in good shape, change the oil, put fuel in it, and the motor should be working nicely. So there's some attention for the body. But attention is just like the attention of a driver to the car. He never thinks he's the car, but he knows he can use the car to get to his desired destinations. The devotee does that, takes care of the body, but knows that I am not this body, and therefore let me use my time, not simply polishing the car all day or trying to, get a better running car. The devotee simply wants to hear and chant the glories of the Lord and engage in devotional service in the association with others, which gives inspiration to one's activities and devotions. In the association of others, we become inspired in our goal to become Krishna consciousness, and we also become happy in that association. So here, this purport by Srila Prabhupada is very interesting, because he says in any case, there's no cause for lamentation of the body, because the body will be lost, whether you believe in the soul or whether you don't believe in the soul. The inevitability of the end of the body is the destination for those who have a material body. So that will happen. It's sometimes people, when some relative dies or some friend dies, we become overwhelmed with grief and we lament the loss of our loved one. But then that's something that is normal, but it's not something to dwell on. It's something that is a passing experience. And then we move on, knowing that I will also be in that situation in the future. So let me get ready to move towards my goal in the spiritual world. Okay, so in other words, use time wisely, and don't worry about the body. It will take its natural course. Keep it running, but keep the soul, you, focused on the ultimate goal, which is the perfection of life, back home, back to Godhead, in association with the Lord in loving devotional service. Otherwise, it says here, like the soul comes from an unknown destination, and when the body ends, the soul will go to another unknown destination. But that's for those who take most of their energy, time, and efforts to maintain the body. For devotee, they can actually choose where they're going to go by focusing on Krishna and focusing on eternal life in devotional service. But that requires attention, effort, time, energy, and good intelligence. And we can do that with the help of Krishna in the form of the Super Soul, the spiritual master's guidance, and the association of other devotees. Okay, we can stop here.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you so much for the beautiful class. Very grateful to you, Maharaj. I'm sorry, I have to on my video. I forgot to on. Thank you, Maharaj, for the beautiful, beautiful class. Very grateful to you. My camera is not working. It's coming something wrong. Okay. So Maharaj, my question is, you said that you should not worry about other things. You should be concentrating on Krishna consciousness, but sometimes we will be more busy in concentrating other things and not concentrating on Krishna consciousness. Not all the times, only sometimes. How do we manage that kind of situation, Maharaj?
Well, I said you have to take care of the body, and if you have responsibilities in this world, well, we should be detached from the results of those activities. In other words, we just do it because it's required, but we put our attention, time, effort, and all of our emotion in devotional service. and the material activities for a devotee who have responsibilities, it's just like routine. Just like it's routine to eat, it's routine to, you know, to take care of the body by keeping it clean, by evacuation. All of these things are routine. We have to do it. So we should see all material activities in the same way. They're just routine. That's all. We just go through the motions, get it done, but we are keeping our concentration, attention on Krishna and devotional service. Like I said, take care of the car, but don't spend all day polishing the car.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you so much for explaining in detail. Very grateful to you. We have some raise hands. Maharaj, would you like to take some questions? Maharaj, we have Induleka Mataji, please go ahead with your question.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you so much for this wonderful class, Maharaj. I had a very basic question with regard to, when the soul, when we are lamenting for another person who has left, many times we are lamenting because of the relationship that we had with that person. So we are lamenting because we are worried about what would happen to us once they are gone. That it is because that person has got a pivotal role in our life. That's why we are lamenting. So it's less for the loss of that personality and more because we can't manage many things without that person. So how do we understand it from that perspective, Maharaj? How can we harm ourselves?
Obviously, you make some adjustment and you carry on. This happens to everybody. Someone loses a friend, a relative, someone close. They go through the stage of feeling the loss and also feeling their own difficulties that will occur without that person, but they adjust. You just adjust, that's all. And the best way to adjust is to become more and more dependent on Krishna. Krishna will take care of you if you surrender to him. The more you surrender to him, the more he takes care of you. And for those who are fully surrendered, he takes care of you 100%, even without you even asking. He's always there for those who are fully surrendered to him. There's no need to worry. If you don't have that faith, then you can't surrender. You have to develop that faith, and that comes by hearing from the acharyas, hearing from the scriptures, hearing from Krishna. Krishna is everything, and for the devotee, he provides everything the devotee needs on all levels, not just basic needs. But we have to surrender to Krishna. That means we have to depend on Krishna. And we also have to serve the Lord also. You can't depend on him if we're not serving him. What you're saying is a very commonplace. It happens to everyone. And life goes on. So adjustment is made and the person picks up and learns to live without that person or without that situation. That's all. You're going to have to learn to live without your body at one point. So, then everything is gone, at least material. So Krishna is showing us through the material energy that we have to depend on him in all cases. Krishna Mata, Krishna Pita, Krishna Dhanapran. It's not simply a saying, it's a reality for those who take shelter of Krishna. And you'll see, how did this Krishna consciousness movement spread? If you study the history, at least even do a partial study, you'll see that everything happened by what we would call miracles, one miracle after another. Why? Because Srila Prabhupada had full faith and dependence on Krishna, and those who joined him also had full faith in Prabhupada. And because that faith was there, they were able to do the most amazing things to spread Krishna consciousness. So if we have faith and act on that faith, we will see miracles happen. Krishna is always there.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. That was a wonderful answer. Very, very nice. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Maharaj. Shiva Kumar Prabhu, please go ahead. Oh, Balabhadra Kripa Prabhu, please go ahead, Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, Indulekha Mataji, for asking that beautiful question. Everybody of us, yeah, it happens in our life when we lose our loved one, or that situations is difficult to control, and who is that doing more service than you, Indulekha Mataji? So thank you for being with us. Thank you, Maharaj. Beautiful answer. Krishna gives everything to us, but then he steals our heart, Maharaj. What to do? He gives everything on one side, and other side he's stealing our heart. Maharaj, we have our beautiful Sukakara Krishna Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Danva Pranam Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj, always on some good occasion you're there to bless all of us. Vishnu Panchaka is there. Please bless all of us, Maharaj, that we have to go back home in this very life. We don't want to come back to the miserable material world. I got one question, Maharaj. There are two things which is really stopping us to go back home, back to Godhead. One is that we are possessiveness. We think we are this body, we are here, it's mine, that one. The second one, where the selfish mentality, holding things, this for this. So to get rid of that, we know from the scriptures that we are not the body. Nothing, we don't anything, we don't own anything, we are not the doer. But in the back of the mind, that is also going on, I'm a chartered accountant and this. So how to forget what we have acquired?
You go to sleep at night and you dream and you forget all about this waking reality, and you're in another reality, and you identify with that reality, and it becomes the reality of the time period you're in it. And so all of the things that on the waking level are not even perceivable anymore. So in one sense, they're gone. So that's our subtle existence. So our spiritual existence is ultimately both. All states of consciousness are simply a dream state. That's all. Whether it's waking or dreaming. We're dreaming we're a man, we're dreaming I got this, I got that, I can enjoy like this, but who's enjoying in this material world? You see, statistics even show that people who have achieved the so-called material goals of life are the people who have the most, what we say, mental depressions, anxiety, depression, frustration, schizophrenia, so many problems, suicide. It's not by people who are, what we say, poor. They also have their problems too. But, this world has shown us, all we have to do is be a little bit awake to show us that people are getting everything they want and still they're suffering. That's the way this world is. You can't stay here and you can't enjoy here. So why waste time playing with toys? That's what they are. Toys created by either your mind or somebody else's mind. Better to focus on what is our real goal and find happiness in that. And therefore, we have to hear and chant the glories of the Lord. Hear, read about.
Yes, Maharaj.
Yeah, these are the things that give the soul, that awakens the soul, and when the soul is awakened, its qualities of happiness and knowledge become awakened also. And then we feel happy, we bask in transcendental knowledge, and we actually can connect with Krishna through everything we do. So, but we're wasting time still playing with toys, you know.
Maharaj,
like
in
a
the
little-
Kartik month, the Kartik Mena 1 week was in Vrindavan. After coming back, missing so much, I don't know how to be always in Vrindavan.
What is the last statement you made?
I was in Vrindavan for 1 week in Kartik, just came back and I'm really missing. I feel that I'm so unfortunate, not able to live in Vrindavan forever. But there it was so blissful. We don't know how the 7 days went off.
Yeah, just don't come back. That's all. Stay there. I had the same experience. I was there twice during this Kartik month for short periods. Each time I left, I felt like, I must be crazy for leaving. In Vrindavan, everything is enhanced. Everything is multiplied.
Please bless all of us, Maharaj, that we make wherever we are to make it like a Vrindavan. Please bless us, Maharaj. You have got so much of mercy and you're so powerful. You're such a great disciple of Srila Prabhupada. Please bless us, Maharaj. We beg you.
If you say I should bless you, then I'll bless you too. What do they call it? Lord Chaitanya wanted to give blessings to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, or no, Advaitacharya is it? Krishna Matir Astu.
Jai Maharaj.
Thank you, Maharaj. Very beautifully. We are trying to find happiness without Krishna in this material world and get sorrows. True, Maharaj.
Yeah.
Richest person on the planets, they are struggling with this depression and whatnot. True, Maharaj. Very true. And Square Krishna Prabhu, you should maintain your accounting skills. Maybe Krishna needs an accountant in Goloka to count how many pots he has stolen. So keep your accounting skills. He's still stealing butter pots. So thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
Shiva Kumar Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Maharaj, Dandavat Pranam, Maharaj. Maharaj, one question from today's class, Maharaj. I'm just looking at these two pastimes, Maharaj. For Bharat Maharaj, he had to leave the body to continue devotional service. Whereas in case of Ajamila, he is given a second chance to continue the devotional service in the same body, Maharaj. So I just wanted to understand, is there any insight or lesson that Krishna has for us in terms of continuing the devotional service in the same body versus have to leave the body and can only continue the devotional service in a new next body?
Well, that depends on your consciousness. Krishna will deal with your consciousness. No, he dealt with Ajamil in a certain way. Because Ajamil chanted Namabas. And then he dealt with Bharat Maharaj in another way, because Bharat Maharaj was a great devotee. He had reached the stage of Baba, but he fell down from the stage of Baba. And so his previous devotional service was quite high. So but because he deviated or he neglected his spiritual activities, became enamored by a deer, he had to take one birth as a deer. But because of his high consciousness, even that deer body, he was aware that he was in the deer body because of what he did in the previous life. And therefore, he didn't associate with deers, he associated with the sages. And then he left that deer body and he took one more birth as Jada Bharat. So every situation warrants the mercy of the Lord as it comes, according to the consciousness and activities of the person involved. So Krishna will deal with you accordingly. He may extend your life. in devotion service, or he may situate you in a different situation where you could pick up in a better situation. It's up to Krishna. I can't say anything how anything will happen in a logical way. It happens according to Krishna's arrangement based on that devotee's surrender to Krishna.
Okay. Thank you so much, Maharaj.
Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhu. That's a beautiful question. Thank you, Maharaj. Such a beautiful answer. We have to depend on Krishna. And what to speak about us, we do 16 rounds and we want to go back. And here is the example of Bharat Maharaj, who is a state of bhava. And just for the compassion and attachment, he falls down. So thank you, Maharaj. What a beautiful answer, Maharaj. Thank you. We just depend on Krishna. So every day we go to Mandir, we pray to Krishna, and just life goes on. We pray to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Maharaj. Maharaj, our Aditi Mataji has a hand raised. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Welcome back from Dham. I know you were in Dham. Please unmute yourself, Mataji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, and dear Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. What to say about Vrindavan Dham? I didn't want to come back. Honestly, we don't want to come back once we are in Vrindavan. Like Prabhu said, that separation, I'm still experiencing. My body has come here, but my heart and soul, it's in Vrindavan. But Maharaj, I just want to, let you know, I have seen you in Vrindavan dancing, in Pune. Oh my Krishna, where do you get this energy from, Maharaj? I mean, you were singing and the whole crowd, the aura over there was like dancing with you. I wish we have little bit of mercy the way you have energy in you at this age also. Please let me know where you get this energy from, and let me know, Maharaj, how to deal with this separation. Like coming back from Vrindavan, I stayed 6 months in India. I visited all and I was very fortunate to do service also. But that separation, I'm not able to deal with it, Maharaj. My heart and soul is still in Vrindavan. I'm sure every temple is Vrindavan for us. That's what we read and that's what we learn. But it's been very difficult for me, this separation. So, and let me know where you get this energy from, Maharaj. It was so nice to see you dancing there in Pune and VC Temple. Just let me know, how do you get that energy from?
When I get the energy from the same place that everybody gets the energy from. The source of all energy, Krishna.
Yes. Yeah, but how do we deal with that separation? My heart is still in Vrindavan.
Oh, well, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he had the same experience. And he was always wanting to go to Vrindavan. And he went in Vrindavan in his internal consciousness. He explored the depths of his love for Krishna in the mood of Radharani by accepting internal moods of seeing Krishna in Vrindavan. But then when he was brought back by his devotees, because they always were worried about what was happening to him, they couldn't understand from the external point of view, he always chastised them and said, I was with Krishna in Vrindavan, now you brought me here, and he starts crying.
Yeah.
He starts crying out of sadness. Now he's no longer with Krishna in Vrindavan. So that is a feature of bhakti, the separation from the Lord, the separation from the Lord's holy dham.
Yes.
But what can you do? So that should inspire us more in our service. That we look at our life and we think, what is the use?
Absolutely. You're correct. What's the use of this life, right? So in anticipation, I look forward. I will be going back again. So, but very difficult to deal with this separation. And we do see, I experienced that, I witnessed watching you. Oh, it was a huge crowd, Maharaj. I couldn't get to you. The more I tried, I was pushed behind. So, but then we get inspired seeing exalted and uttam adhikaris like you, Maharaj, and we get to learn so many things. Thank you so much for your darshan, Maharaj. Again, Dandvat Pranam on your lotus feet, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Just keep Krishna in your heart and your mind, and you'll
Yes. Yes.
down it.
Yes, thank you,
Hare
Maharaj.
Krishna. Aditi Mataji and Shukakar Krishna Prabhuji are increasing our greediness to go to Vrindavan now.
Just
Haribol.
go, Maharaj. Just go. Don't
We all
plan.
should
Just
go together.
go.
All
Yeah,
should go
yeah,
together.
next time. Yeah.
Bhakti Sangha.
Yeah.
Baladas Prabhu, after initiation, her face is shining after initiation.
Prabhu, it's
Gopal smile. No.
Thank you, Maharaj. What a beautiful answer. Certainly, as we are part and parcel of Krishna, who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself. So as he was crying for Vrindavan, we are part and parcel. We have a lamentation. We have that crying. And certainly, Maharaj, what is beautiful than Vipralamba Bhav? Aditi Mataji, now you can burn in that mood of separation from Vrindavan, and that's the best mood.
And become happy. And become happy by crying.
I got the Raman Wraith. If you have heard about the Raman Wraith,
Yeah.
I got that for everyone as a prasad, where Krishna and Balram would do their pastimes. All I could get is the dust and the Raman Wraith from Vrindavan. Just to keep myself. Yes.
I also got Ramanreti. And also, over than that, just like laddu, if you eat like
yes,
it's like so soft.
Yeah.
Wow,
Thank you.
And
you.
I guess Maharaj, your secretary, so.
Yeah, I only have about 5 more minutes.
Okay, Maharaj. We will go to our Krishna Kshetra Prabhuji. Prabhuji, go ahead, please. So maybe this is the last question.
Thank you, Maharaj. Dandavat Pranam. Very beautiful class. And I came halfway, but appreciate the question that was raised by the Mataji who asked this question. I just have a comment for today. Srila Prabhupada made a beautiful comment when Abhimanyu died. So Arjuna, of course, he was lamenting like an ordinary person would do. But Srila Prabhupada mentioned that he did increase his devotional service after. He started fighting more vigorously. That's all I wanted to say, Maharaj.
Yeah. For devotee reverses are opportunities for advancement. They see whatever happens is an opportunity to take greater shelter of Krishna, to become more attached to devotional activities. A non-devotee lives according to his plans, and when his plans don't go, he always feels unhappy, dissatisfied, starts to complain or make new plans. A devotee stays fixed in Krishna consciousness, and whatever Krishna allows to happen, they can see it as opportunities for greater surrender in devotional service. That is a fact which is happening in the lives of the devotees practically every day. One should not be discouraged if one's plans and activities go in a different direction, because we only have one plan: to get out of this material world and go back home, back to Godhead. Keeping that focus in mind, we can deal with whatever happens, either so-called good or so-called bad, because we only have one goal, Krishna.
Yeah.
Vyagya Sattvika Budhir Ekeha Kudanandana Bahusakya Yanatascha Buddhayo Vavisahinam. Those who are resolute in purpose and their aim in one, O beloved child of the Kurus. Those whose intelligences are irresolute, they are many branched. Devotees are simple. They want Krishna. Okay, I'm sorry, but I do have to go because there's someone here waiting for me now. So if there's one quick last question, we can deal with that.
Actually, Krishnai Mataji has a small question. She's asking, during Damodar month, Maharaj, when we go with the deep dan around the deity of Sri Krishna, so why is that number 4, 2, and 3, and then 7? She's asking.
That's just the way arti is offered. That's part of the Pancharatriki system of worship.
Yes.
That's done on regular artis too, not just in Damodar.
Yeah. Yes, Maharaj.
Okay.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you for beautiful class, Maharaj. Thank you for staying with the question answer session, Maharaj. Even we all know you are so busy, Maharaj, but we all try to get more and more association and time of your Maharaj. So bless us and Maharaj, just stay with us all the time, please. So dear devotees, let us pay our obeisances to Maharaj and all the assembled devotees on the line and all the Tribhuvan. Vancha kalapataru vaishya
पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः।
जगत गुरु शीला प्रभुपाद जी की जय। चंद्रमौली स्वामी महाराज की जय। गौरंगा
Nityananda.
राधे राधे
Radhe Radhe.
राधे राधे
Gauranga.
राधे राधे।
Nityananda.
राधे राधे
Jai.
गौरंगा हरि बोल हरि बोल।
राधे राधे।